All right. I'm going to do a bit of Shush one more time. I am so fucking pissed. I love Apple. I still do. It's still miles better than Android, any Android I ever had. But this last year or two have just been killing me with fucking glitches constantly, and every fix brings new glitches. Ugh. Now, usually it's like I can deal with it until the next update, but right now I'm really having a hard time dealing with it, so I'm just trying not to think about it because I just recorded a whole fucking bit of Shush Please and it's gone. Ugh. Yeah, okay, frozen. Anyway, I had to restart my phone, which I don't hardly ever do. Maybe I should do that more often. Okay, so I'm going to try to condense this as much as I can while I'm walking home. Okay, so last Thursday was when I was doing the fake fiction, and I went into the pharmacy and I paused it to come back, and I didn't come back about that. But I posted it because all the other information could stand alone about the stories and stuff. And so here is why that happened. All right. Monday, I get a prescription. Now, this is a controlled substance, that's all I'll say. And so, they keep, strict guidelines on them. Most prescriptions you can get 1 or 2 days early before the prescription date. And they are more flexible when they're not a controlled substance. Not much more flexible, but they are. Well, so, and I've been taking this for years, so it's nothing new to me. And I switched insurance plans from Humana to Aetna in January, starting January 1st. And, I checked first, like I, usually do. This is not a new process for me. And I've been, doing this since before there was the Advantage plans, before even there was a Medicare Part D. So when you had to scramble for money to pay for damn prescriptions. Okay. So Monday I go and I drop it off, and I'm like, I was kind of messed up on dates because of the surgery, and I wasn't quite sure on the, if it was time to fill, and I forgot to bring the old bottle with me, so I didn't know the exact date. And they were saying, no, we can't fill this until the 28th, Thursday. But we'll, put it in the system, have it filled for you. And I'm like, okay. Thursday I go down, this is before I was recording that podcast, I go down there and I pick up my prescriptions. And I come home. Now it's a mile each way, which city life, if you don't have a car, is nothing really. So I go, so 2 miles down, and it's not in there at all. So I call. Oh, I see it here now. Okay, I'll fill it. Okay. Another mile walk. And that's when I was making the podcast. Stopped it when I went in. And that's when it all fell apart. Because first, it was unable to be filled because I love it when stories change and alter and then don't even make sense. Because somebody apparently, when they put it in January, which January, everything went fine. All my prescriptions, no problem, no issue, nothing. And she goes, yeah, but I think when they entered it, somebody accidentally put 45 days. How the hell do you accidentally put in, excuse me, let me change that. How in the fuck do you change a prescription legally like that? And I'm in their fucking computer. I get the same damn pills every month, 90 of them every month, 3 little ones a day, individual ones a day. I'm in their system. So how would they think? Plus, right there, written on the prescription. So I don't know what the hell happened, but I think maybe she did it because she was very sheepish about it and vague and also looked a bit like she was hoping that I wouldn't press it further. Well, first thing I did, and then, so then she's like, but, something, we can fill it today. So there's, again, some confusion. I don't understand why. And so I call Aetna, because when she has it, she's like, now they only pay for 2 a day. So you have to pay $90 for the other 30. And I'm like, since when? For one thing, Aetna could not change my plan willy-nilly in the middle. In fact, 2 months into my little contract with them. And I'm like, you're kidding me. Now, so, this was an Aetna deal, not a pharmacy deal. So I walk out of the pharmacy without my prescription, because it's not essential to living, so I could do without it until I get this sorted. And first I call into the pharmacy from outside of it, and I'm like, because I already knew I was going to switch pharmacies, because that was just a clusterfuck, whatever they did. And if it was done the way she said, I'm pretty sure illegal. But we'll let the people who read Google reviews decide that. I call Aetna. Now the first, everybody was really nice at first. Well, everybody else was really nice. This first person was nice at first, and I was trying to explain to her. She's like, yeah, you can't, get it refilled until the 14th, because I'd gotten it on the 28th of January, and I'm like, that is ridiculous. It's a 30-day supply prescription, and of course, no idea. I mean, the pharmacist was bad enough standing there like a stunned mullet, looking at me as if I don't have a single suggestion for you. You're a fucking pharmacist. Don't tell me you've never had an issue like this before. And don't tell me that even if you hadn't had an issue like this before, you can't at least offer some kind of suggestion. Stupid bitch. So, I walked out of the pharmacy and I called her. And I said, yeah, I just want to make sure that I don't have anything on auto refill, which that's a whole other bone of contention that I can talk about another day. Oh, and she's like, no, we got you off of it. We don't have any. And I'm like, I'll clear you or something like that. I'm like, okay, thanks. And I'm, so I'm on the phone with Aetna after that. At that point, I was done with that pharmacy. And she's like, yeah, this is weird. This is very weird. And I'm like, plus, my formulary said you'd pay for it. You paid for it last month. I don't understand what's going on. She's like, I don't either. And, and then she goes, oh, this is going to mess with my flow. Click. Hung the fuck up on me. She didn't want to deal with it. So I call right back. But I call the regular number, not the prescription area, because I wanted to tell the regular division, you mark who called me, and you mark who answered and hung up on me. And I don't put up with bullshit. Neither me or my husband does. And believe it or not, I'm the fucking nice one. So, she hangs up. I call back, get a very nice woman who can't help me, but at least tells me she can't help me. But she doesn't have very much in the way of suggestions. But she had some, like getting a pre-authorization from my doctor. I'm like, well, for one thing, she's not there tomorrow. So I won't be able to get a hold of her. And why should I get a pre-authorization for something that was already part of my plan? And so finally, with no suggestions or no solutions, I said, you know what? Fine. You just ruined Aetna for me. My dad had it for years. I had Travelers and then Aetna or something like that. But yeah, they've gone downhill. So I had to make a call the next day so that I could, get back on Humana, which will kick in on the 1st. So I have to still get my prescriptions through Aetna. But I am switching pharmacies. There is one that's actually now attached to my doctor's office. It's not bad living in a hospital area. So the doctor's office will, you got a lot of different kinds of doctor's offices near a hospital, and unless you live on the sidewalk, the ambulances aren't really a big issue. Just the whoomp 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 of the occasional Lifeline helicopter. So I'm all sorted on that, starting the 1st, and I'll have my regular prescription again, and just, and everything changed when my Rite Aid switched to Walgreens. And I'm saying from day one, they have been slower. They've been more, the first 2 weeks, they were super confused about the computers, I guess. And they just haven't ever recovered, I don't think. I mean, they've gotten a little better at the time for getting prescriptions filled. So they're getting caught up like that, but this is a monumental type mistake. If this had been a life-sustaining prescription, it would have been really, really, a very terrible, terrible mess, because, I can't call up Aetna and say, they did this, can you fix it? No, they've got to fix it. And then, they've got to fix the other thing. Oh, we're the patients are the ones who have to jump through the hoops. The doctors look at us, examine us, put their expertise to use, and give us whatever medications we might need. And after that, the legwork is ours, finding, which, most of it should be, but there should be some kind of system for pre-authorizations that doctors can do that doesn't involve me calling, sitting on hold, going back and forth usually, having to call again. Can you get that pre-authorization over? It never came. Or them saying, "But I sent it, and I'm not going to send another one." It's always a mess. It's always a mess, and they're always dumping the problems on us. And there's people that I'm not I can handle it. I can deal with it, and I can do the calls and do whatever. It's tedious, but just like dealing with a government agency, it's just how it is. But I know there's people that are deathly ill that this would really seal the deal for them, probably, because they may not even have the wherewithal. Wait, somebody alone. There's the Chanel woman that walks around here. She always has. She doesn't walk as much. She's getting older. Always in black Chanel and Chanel jewelry every day. And we see her, and her health has been declining, but she lives alone. And I don't know if she has family. I've never seen her with anybody, except for chatting around the area. And if she were to say get cancer and had to have heavy radiation and chemo, how in the hell is she going to have the energy just to talk to these people about a problem? Because as you're talking about it, your adrenaline's gonna go, you're gonna get all pumped up and shit like that. So while there's no replacing good doctors and nurses, because they can be our lifelines. Oh, there's my sunglasses. I thought I left them in CVS. I never wore them. Our lifeline, they are the nurses especially, because they are the ones that when you go out and you are out of there and you have to start this pre-authorization or doing, something else or having to do whatever, you call and, you'll talk to the nurse, and, nurses are right up there with, I'm sorry, doctors, but nurses are right along up there with teachers as being the most overworked, underpaid professions, and overworked and underpaid where they're actually doing the best jobs. So it's a mess. It's going to get sorted. It's actually in the works. I'm done with the fixing it. Now I'm just got to wait for the first for it to be totally fixed, and that'll be good. But that's what happened last Thursday. And now because I had to walk the 4th mile home and get on the horn, make my calls, and then answer the horn the next day because it was after hours, the calls started coming in order to get it fixed. So that's all sorted, and I guess now I'm ready for the next thing. So that was my bit of shush for the day. That was my bit of shush from last Thursday. Yeah, Friday it would have been. But good things. Slumber Guard trailer and part 1 are there. And in a few minutes, Fake Fiction and Bit of Shush will be on there. Have a good weekend. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you guys Monday.